Today you're coming shopping with me. Wow, you did it.
I think it's smart.
These are officially my finest china. And we're not going to just any shops. I'm taking you to some of the most interesting, innovative, impactful shops there are in Hong Kong, which also happen to be some of my personal favorites. We're gonna be hearing stories from the owners,
What kind of handicraft in Hong Kong will be distinguished?
talking business strategies,
If you're just thinking of starting a business and making money, I won't suggest that.
We took this threat as an opportunity for us to work on something better and build a stronger team.
and purchasing some cute items along the way. So get 'em, loser. We're going shopping. Actually, the first purchase we're going to be making is from the comforts of our own home on The RealReal, whom is sponsoring this portion of the video. The RealReal is a luxury consignment website, app, and shop that sells brands like Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Reformation, and many others up to 90% off. By many others, I mean one of my favorite brands. I have been wanting this bag and watching it for a long, long time, and I finally purchased it secondhand on The RealReal. It is the Celine Triumph shoulder bag. Look how pretty she is. You can see on the website the exact condition it's in, and it was very accurate. There is just some minor, very shallow scratches in it, but nothing that I wouldn't do myself. I actually prefer to have this bag like this because I feel like I can use it more. I'm one of those people that will leave the plastic covering on things to keep it newer for longer, so now I just feel like I can really use it. And you can also see here it has the tag that says an expert behind every item, and that's because a team of experts authenticates every single item so you can be sure that what you're getting is really real. It's the real thing. If you'd like to get $25 off your first order, then click the link below in my description box, and you can also enter the code REAL upon checkout to get an additional 20% off select items. So thank you, RealReal. Yes, let's go shopping. This place used to be a famous cotton mill during Hong Kong's manufacturing boom in the 1950s. It's now been converted into a hub that combines the city's industrial past with its creative future. One shop doing particularly innovative things is called G2G, and no, that does not stand for the thing that you said to your best friend over MSN Messenger when it was time to go to dinner. It stands for garment to garment. Basically what they do is they take a garment that would otherwise be discarded and recycle it into a completely new garment using a waterless, solvent-free process.
This is the first in the world, the first system that make old clothes into a new one.
Go Hong Kong! I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to make use of my single socks whose partners left them to go into the magical world of washer machine Narnia, or just those socks that I love and have worn to death, and turn them into something new and more usable. It feels so weird to be back in this place because I came to drop off my stuff over a year ago now, like a year and a month ago. And I've changed a lot. Like, my hair is completely different. This whole face has seen some things, and I didn't have to wear a mask before either. So I'm coming back as a new woman to pick up my old socks, which are also changed into something new. Step one is to bring in the garments that you wish to recycle. Is it possible to transform socks into something new?
Oh, yes.
Like a sweater?
Yes.
Oh, really?
If you want to recycle socks, you should give me more.
Yeah.
You cannot give me just one. Okay, you have enough. Okay. Have you washed it before you?
Yeah. If your garments get approved to be recycled, you can then choose the style that you want to have. I think now they currently have 5 styles available, but they're always working to add more. After making the payment, your part is all done. You can leave it with them for 1 to 2 weeks, and your fabric is going to go through an 8-step process. First, it gets sanitized, and then it gets cut into small pieces, and they'll remove any tags or buttons or any hard closures. Then the fabric will be opened into small tufts before cleaning it and carding it.
It's like a giant cloud. It feels really soft.
Through this process, the individual fiber clumps are turned into a sliver, which can then be sort of webbed into one straightened fiber. From there, the sliver is fed into a high-speed rotor and twisted into a single yarn, and then that single yarn gets twisted again to form a ply yarn. Finally, that yarn is knitted into your new item.
I was actually expecting like a piece of fabric to and has it cut and sew, but it actually comes out like in 3D, ready to go.
Hello! Long time no see! Wow, you did it! And this is the outcome. This is the product of my and my husband's old socks joined together.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it is. I'm actually really pleasantly surprised by the outcome. It's a lot softer than I thought it was. It doesn't feel like, you know, socks are very firm. It doesn't feel like a sock at all. It's a simple V-neck sweater. It's got a little bit of ribbed details on the collar, and the trimming of it is on the thinner side though, so I would have to layer it over something, but that is okay. I feel like this could go with a bunch of spring outfits. So our feet are joined together forever. Either way, I feel like this is gonna serve me much more in sweater form rather than just having my socks sit in my closet. Emily told me a lot of couples like to do this. Each partner will take their old shirts and then they'll combine it into one sweater and share that sweater.
What's the weirdest thing people changed?
Weird, I think. This is weird.
In the future, I want to get this correct. Let me write my notes. This plant will eventually be able to recycle up to 3 tons of wool and cotton fabric per day on 3 production lines. So that's pretty cool. So you're producing for some big brands now, and then as well as individual people coming in.
Yes.
For custom things.
Yes. I think that we want to more and more people know the system, and we also want more brands, manufacturers, our other stores, showing a chance to collaborate with us, and we can work together to let more people to know our concept of closing the loops, in the fashion industry.
Great, thank you so much.
Okay.
So cool, and I can't wait to see what you guys do in the
Okay,
future.
I wanted to take a picture.
And I'll say it again, whenever you're in Hong Kong, always look up, because the best cafes, bars, shops, and other random things are often situated on not the ground floor. So we are currently in the bustling Causeway Bay, and 2 floors up is a really cute stationery shop called Tree Stationery. Hello, hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, Pauline. I'll take my temperature.
Tree is a place that, okay, in Chinese there's a Chinese word saying 大樹好遮陰. That means a big tree can provide good shelter. So this place we are trying to make it like a place for people that can have a rest and give our customers a time out that they can be on their own or with their friends, and to appreciate the beauty of life. And even they come in and not buy anything, but they can at least got a moment of serenity for themselves. I previously worked for a telco company, and I used to be in the marketing field. And so finally I decided, okay, it's time for me to go. Oh, really? Yeah, but at the same time I also have a heart to, because of my background as a Christian, so I used to help those underprivileged youth. And so all along I want to start a business that can help them to develop their talents, and also help them to further integrate back into the society. So that's the background of this stationery shop. Because we got quite a number of local artisan products which people rarely know about that. And so it's also my job to tell people who they are. The name is called Manko Naoko. And she's a Japanese and married to a Chinese man, so she's living in Hong Kong. She draws cats as human beings, living in different parts of Hong Kong. And some places are even already dismantled. So in fact, when I go through her postcard, I just find that, oh, in fact, her postcard tells the history of Hong Kong. And when people come to buy her postcards, I particularly tell them where this place is and whether it still exists.
Especially within the past year, Hong Kong has changed so much because of the pandemic, and we're losing a lot of old companies and traditions and tradesmen. Yeah, it's been really sad. So it's nice to hear those stories. I didn't even know about that. Now I want to see the...
Every day you pass along the street and you don't know, oh, in fact there's a story about this building. Rubber stamp making was quite popular of maybe 10 years ago, but it dies down recently. But this lady just keep working on it. But I think those people who do bullet journal, they still look for stamps, but handcraft one is really rare. And she did one by hand. Wow. This guy is called Ken, and his brand is called Yuet Design Studio. And frankly, he is my recent favorite one.
Oh, yeah, that's
And this set earned him the Hong Kong Smart Design Award. And this set too, also Hong Kong Smart Design Award.
Is there any advice you would give people in Hong Kong that want to start their own small business?
Do your research, and then have to do a thinking process to see where you are, and then also start from small. But we know quite a number of people who start their business, they will go for a pop-up market and test the market response, and then they go for a shop. And also another thing is, though I'm from marketing field, but I have to say that what we learn from company may not work here.
So I guess it's important to follow your curiosity, try new things, take some of the skills that you've had from before. Maybe it all won't apply, but you just need to keep moving forward with small steps with whatever you can.
Yeah, and also patience. All the time I want to tell people why you have to start a business. Just making money, making profit. If that's so, then you have to think it twice. To me, I keep telling people this is not just a business. It's a platform. It's a platform for communications, a platform for love and care, a platform for people to hide themselves here. Yeah, and so it's more than a business. If you're just thinking of starting a business and making money, I won't suggest that.
So we made it to Kowloon Bay, and the next place I want to show you is called Yuetang China Works. They are the last standing hand-painted porcelain shop in Hong Kong. Are you Joseph? I'm Taylor. Is it your grandfather that started the shop?
Yeah, my grandfather found the factory in the year 1928. Wow. Because he was migrated from Canton to Hong Kong. So that we are the first factory in Hong Kong, the first porcelain painting factory.
Wow. So then it was passed down to your father and then to you?
Yeah, now I'm the third generation.
Third generation.
Yeah, I stayed in the factory since I came from Canton or Guangzhou. And then I stayed in the factory. At the time, the factory we have a dormitory. So we live together, the three generations, and also the single worker living in the factory, like a big family. Yeah.
How old were you?
At that time, I'm about 7 years old.
7 years old?
Yeah, about 6 or 7, yeah.
And you started working at 7 years old?
No, at that time it's a study. We are not allowed to touch any brush because at that time they need a 3 years training because they're very strict. They are not easy to get into to learn their skill because it's it's by generation to generation to teach the technique. Oh. So you have to normally the master. The senior master painter only teach their family, the son, but not the daughter. Oh. Because they don't want the other people learn the skill of painting. The Canon design is rather complicated. This is a traditional Canon design. Because most of Canon design, they bear this, in America they call this a rose medallion, they call Canon rose. You can see the white space all the filled with gold. So that they also call the Canton decoration color is a weaving gold. The whole white space all filled up with the pattern. Oh, but nowadays many design they paint only outside decoration.
Right.
Because labor cost expensive. Due to the Korean War, America not allow any Chinese product to ship to America. We had to use many porcelain from Japan, not allowed to do any porcelain on Chinese porcelain. So that's why we had to put the stamp. Till 1917. After Mr. election with China, so that they banned this regulation. At the time, we are free to import, to buy the porcelain from China. This comes from Lady Medley Host, the wife of Governor Medley Host. She, in 1975, she gave me a broken piece of porcelain to copy the design. At the time, we know nothing of the history or the name of the design. Only later, last year, one of the students who come to learn the porcelain painting found this design in the museum in Toronto. So he found it's the old English design 100 years ago. The picture is that most of the skillful work painter. Now only the 2 or 3 come back to work.
Only 2 or 3 painters left.
But in the past, we are over 20 painters.
So you think one day it will be finished, extinct?
In fact, all kinds of handicraft in Hong Kong will be distinguished.
Why do you think the younger generation doesn't want to learn this skill?
You can see now, because we do use the brush work. Right now, many Chinese, local Chinese, they seldom use
the
brush.
phone
They're only doing computer. They never touch the brush. My wife now have the porcelain painting class. There are many young people come to learn the skill, but they come to learn just only for a short time, not as the works for life. 20 years ago, for them.
There's so many memories in here.
Yeah.
I purchased these teacups and saucers because of the story behind them. So they feature the iconic Canton rose and also the gold leaf plating in between. It's all hand painted. It also carries the stamp. They're so detailed, even down to the inside of the rim. And these cups were made in the 60s, and I'm really happy to own a part of culture and tradition and history. And I hope that I can keep these forever and pass them down to my kids. And hopefully my kids don't break them. I'm getting flashbacks to all of the things that I broke as a kid. But these are officially my finest china. Terms, Sham Shui Po is like the Brooklyn of Hong Kong. So it's a new and happening area full of different shops and cafes, a lot of which are run by young people with new and exciting ideas. So let me introduce to you one of my favorite, I can't call this a cafe because it's part shop selling a lot of sustainable and overall wellness products, part cafe with very clean, mindful foods. It's part art gallery, part workshop, and then it's sort of all tied together with a strong focus on highlighting women-led companies and women entrepreneurs.
The founder is actually from Hong Kong. Started off as a media site with a strong vision to basically promote equality in different sects, as well as inclusivity and diversity.
So right here we have the wall that changes every month, and this month is for mindful living. It's more than just on what's on the surface to us, for our customers. We like to actually get to know them and you know, not just sell them stuff mindlessly.
I think collaboration is one critical element for any new startups. The ability to, or the openness to talk to different people, whether that could be your competitor or your suppliers or your friends, and basically brainstorm ideas and collaborate with different people to learn more and to build a stronger brand.
And then right here we collaborate with a lot of Hong Kong local brands and North American brands as well. This brick has a really thoughtful backstory behind it. The artist collected dust, basically debris and everything from shops that closed down during COVID last year, blended it, broke it down. They made a break, and there's only 50 of these. So what is insinuating is that what's broken down can be rebuilt, and they made this. This is the 48th one of the 50. This one's quite interesting because the artist was like, you know what, we use a lot of soap but we don't finish them, so why don't we make it into like little chocolate bars so we can eat them? No, I'm joking.
Soap as a kid. Do Chinese moms punish you with soap if you swear? Put it in your mouth?
More slipper or the tongue kill, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is particularly interesting right now because a lot of people are carrying hand sanitizer bottles. So this is a way that you can wash your hands. Oh, thank you. You can wash your hands on the go because you can just break a tiny piece and put it to your bag, and then there's no waste. So what's the future look like for this brand? What do you want to do going forward?
Definitely trying to work with more creators within Hong Kong. I think that Hong Kongers would need a platform like this for them to express, whether it could be an artist or a new brand startup or anybody that basically want to get their name out there. I really want to encourage and promote that in the most authentic way possible. So if there's a creator or an artist, how can they get their products seen here? Like, how do they contact you? It's very easy. Like, anybody could just come in and say hello. Yep.
Show you.
Yep. There are a couple of artists and creators and even brand owners. They just randomly came in over the weekend, show us the products. We thought, yep, cool, it's great, and then we activated 2 days later.
Oh wow. Open during COVID in Hong Kong.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So it was pretty tough, from picking the location to setting up the store, to recruitment and all that is, it's been very challenging with so much limited times, as well as, all the restrictions out there. So, but we made it.
But at the same time, if you can make it now, I think you can be very strong for later.
Yep.
Rather than going backwards and trying to figure out how to adapt, you adapted right away, and you can only go forward.
That's correct. That's correct. So we kind of we took this threat as an opportunity for us to work on something better and build a stronger team with more limitations, which means that we have to be more creative in what we do.
And that completes our day of shopping. Thank you so much for coming along with me, and thank you RealReal for sponsoring this video once again. I hope you were able to see some things you liked or learned a thing or two. I definitely learned a whole bunch of things, both business-wise, historically. I'm just so happy to see so many different platforms out there that are encouraging new ideas and trying to keep alive the old ones. One of the greatest things in life is to find your purpose. Actually, Mark Twain quoted that, like there's two best days of your life. One is the day you're born, and two is the day you find your purpose. And I feel like the people that I've talked to have really found their purpose, and it's great to see them shine and great to see them feel so passionate about what they do. So if you plan on visiting Hong Kong, do visit the shops. I will link them below. I think a lot of them also sell their stuff online, so you can also purchase it through there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like to let me know so that I can make more. Maybe I can make a part 2. If you have any favorite shops in Hong Kong that I missed, please also let me know for part 2. Or even online shops, maybe I can do a whole series on cool and interesting online shops that are doing something different. All right, I will see you in my next video very soon. I think it's gonna be some sort of transformation. I'm really thinking about cutting my bangs again. I don't know, I'm really excited. So yeah, I'll see you very soon with that. Bye.